professional team, but without having a professional team here, we really do have some cool stuff in the city. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning to you.
Rocky Ryan, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm well. Good, bad, and ugly. Wichita State edition. I'd say the good is that Coach Mills wasn't able to go back to his suite. You know what I mean? Thank goodness.
Amen.
And you know what I mean. The bad is, I think we know this is a revolving door with the players because of what, so topical that Doug was talking about that with us about, the money and the ugly of it is we're so desensitized about the money. You know what I mean? I've always been thinking, well, great, Wichita State's going to have $20 million. And then Doug's like, hey, look, that's what you're allowed. That's not what they have. And then I'm just thinking, we're so desensitized about this dollar sign, like it's nothing to pay a starting quarterback $4 to $9 million. And I'm just thinking, how long would you have to work? You know what I mean? To accumulate $4 million. It's mind blowing. And then I think they don't have that money, and that's a fair assessment. And I know a lot of people I've heard chime in and talk about some of the big money names that we have, and hey, can't they just dump and dump and dump? But golly, what pressure on the donors to get bang. I signed up and got some tickets, and now it's just like the constant emails, of we need money for this, and I get it, I respect it. You have to, because forever, and you've preached it on this show, Doug. Forever, it's all about that almighty dollar sign, and
isn't it kind of crazy
golly,
how fast
it really is?
It's crazy how fast we got desensitized to the money part of it. Like, it's funny when you just said that, Ryan, because listen, it kind of just went through my head of, we talk about college kids that are getting paid $6 million a year, like we're talking about, an 18-year-old that just got their first job making $30,000. Like, it's just like we don't even think about $6 million a year.
Okay, but let's think about where we came from, where you came from. There were $100 handshakes at Nebraska. Okay, I know that Bosworth, drove a Corvette and that was a big deal. We knew. Now, in my time, I was going there when Gundy was there, and we knew Gundy was making money, but he was making, $1,200 a week or something like that. And then, me being on the Spirit Squad, we never thought about money, but if we could sneak in to the athletic club entrance, then we could hit that buffet. And bless her heart, Doctor, I forget what her name was, but she would always say, now get a piece of tinfoil and wrap up a little to go. And, this was prime rib, and this was that. And I could stick out my chest and be like, hey, my buddy in second hour journalism, he doesn't get that. I'm going to come and I'm going to say, hey, look what I got. And that was a big deal. If you could get a great meal, Doug, you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Probably in college and Hutch. Man, if you could get a meal and get a wink, but then now it's like, oh, I'm not going to play for $50,000. What? It's mind blowing if we break it down to really the molecular level. It's just hard to put your head around. But you said it well. We have become desensitized to this, and I don't know when it stops. But there's got to be something, because my goodness, this is really wild. And, that's the ugly of it. And you set this up, and I don't mean to break everything down like that, because the city has so much to offer. Absolutely. And that beautiful stadium, and we got the Intrust Bank Arena and all kinds of stuff to do. And the college, I have no doubt, is in the right direction, Mills, as you can see, he's an early rock star. But just holding on, you heard Doug talk, holding on to these kids and saying, let's get 3 years in a row. And I'm trying to, I can't put my feet in those shoes. What am I doing when I've got a wonderful coach that's looking me in the eye saying, hey, we're going to give him $100,000, and you've got LaSalle that's in Wisconsin that is asking your son to come there for $300,000. I don't know. That's not a dilemma I'm ever going to, run into.
Right. Yeah,
but that's the tug and pull on that. So, yeah. But great things in Wichita. I'll listen off here. And hey, Doug, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, brother. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, I didn't get the rocket out. There was no rocket out. That's a signature line for Ryan. Look, this is stuff we've talked about for a long time on the show, and I think we all can agree the ugly of sports